Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Clonks, and welcome to the final episode of Season 2 of my FC25 Southampton Career Mode series. Yes, it is season finale time, but before we jump into it, you may have noticed that I am wearing a Wolverhampton shirt. Now, the reason I've decided to wear this shirt in this episode is because a few days ago, unfortunately, you probably heard, we did tragically lose Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, which is very sad and unfortunate. So I wanted to wear something to honour them, and being a United fan, of course, I don't have a Liverpool shirt. Now, it's obviously when something like this happens, rivalries and football just in general, I've got just nothing, but of course I don't have a Liverpool shirt, so I do have a Wolverhampton shirt from a series I did on FIFA 21. It's not on YouTube anymore because I only did a few episodes before I stopped doing it, but I did buy the shirt, so I thought I may as well wear it, just because obviously he made his name in English football playing for Wolves, and he was a fantastic player, and from what you've heard from many people who are close to him, from his friends and his family, of course, that he was such a genuine nice guy as well. So it was very unfortunate to lose his life, and of course his brothers as well, which I don't feel like it's been mentioned as much. Obviously he wasn't as known as Jota, but he's still a human being that lost his life, and of course it's very sad for the family and the friends and everyone involved. So of course we want to respect it. Now, the other thing I wanted to address is that because of how FC or just FIFA it works in general, I'm not sure if I know they've taken him out of Ultimate Team. Well, they've taken him off the market. I'm not sure if they've taken him out of the game. However, I think even if they do, he will still be in this save, because obviously I made the save before. Well, obviously once the save is made, I don't think they can remove anything from it. I'm going to make the decision that at the minute in the save, Jota is actually playing for Bayern Munich. Now, I'm just going to make the decision just out of respect to not feature him at all in this save. Now, if we come up against teams where he's playing for, because obviously he couldn't move, then I will obviously not start him, not play him. The only thing I won't be able to do is obviously take him out of any transfers or anything like that, because obviously I can't do that. So if there's any transfers he makes when I'm going through the transfer list, he may appear. I probably won't address it, just because we're just gonna, do a thing where he's not here out of respect. Obviously he's lost his life, so he's not going to be in the save anymore. So I just wanted to briefly say that, and of course, like I've already mentioned, my heart goes out to the friends and family of both those humans, players, and unfortunately we have got to move on, and that's what we will do now. So let's get into it now that that's out of the way. That's all I just want to say. Rest in peace, Diogo Jota and Andre Silva. Okay, so on with the episode. So in today's episode, of course, the season finale, we have 4 games. Now, where we are on the table, of course, if you have missed anything, please go back and check, because obviously I'm going to spoil things now. So if you don't want to get any spoilers, there will be a link to the previous video and the series playlist in the description down below. So head back and check that out now before we move on. But for those of you who are all up to date, you know that because of where we are in the table, we are sat in 11th, and we have got no real chances of going up or down, really. So we are probably where we're going to finish, so we don't really have much to play for today. So I am going to play 2 of the games just to get some content and some games played, and I'm going to sim the 2. Now, the 2 we're going to play are going to be this Tottenham game, because they are actually in 10th, so they're the team that are 1 position above us, so we may as well give that a game. And we're going to play Leeds. We are then going to sim Palace, because they are actually further down the table, and we're going to sim Liverpool because they're further up the table. So yeah, 4 games for you today, 2 played, 2 sim. And here's the confirmation of that league table. We are sat in 11th, like I mentioned. We're actually playing Leeds, who are 1 position below us. So we're playing both teams that are actually next to us, which I wasn't fully aware of when I was making that decision. But yeah, so Leeds are sat below us and Spurs above us. So those are the 2 teams we will play today. And of course, like I mentioned, we are playing Crystal Palace, who do occupy a relegation zone at the minute, so that would be a very big shock, to be fair, if Palace were to go down. Unfortunately, obviously Wolves, who the shirt I am wearing, are already down. They're actually, I don't know if they're mathematically down. They maybe still could make it. Actually, No, probably not. My maths isn't. My brain is not mathing, but I think they're already down. Brentford and Palace still have a chance to survive, but especially Palace, who, if they beat us today, they could even drag themselves out of that relegation zone and drop Hull in it. So Hull are now starting to drop off. They were a bit higher, but they could potentially be the final team to go down. A team that I was expecting to go down quite. I thought they'd be the Wolves of this career, where they'd be the ones struggling down the bottom, but they've had a decent season so far, but they are still hovering above that relegation zone. The other end of the table then, Man City looking like they're probably going to win that league. Liverpool have an outside chance of doing it, but again, it would take a bit of a... I think they would need Man City to lose. Well, they would need Man City to lose the remaining 2 games, and they would have to win every single one of them. But you never know, they might find themselves in a position against us today in that final game where they need to win it to win the league. So we could even stop Liverpool from winning the league, which not great in terms of this episode because of what's happened, but in obviously with the things that I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. But anyway, we can't we can't make room for any of that. It's, we got to play the game. Obviously, we're not playing it. We'll be simming it. So what happens. We shall see. I still think, though, Man City are probably going to win that league. So before we jump into this Palace game, just to remind you guys, if you do enjoy this episode, please remember to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything else going into Season 3 of this career mode, which we're definitely going to do. And I'm looking forward to it because we have kept ourselves in this league this season, so it's going to be a big one. So yeah, if you do enjoy it, please remember to subscribe. So our team going into this Palace game, a bit of good news for us is that Liam Delap, who picked up an injury scoring his hat-trick in the previous game against Aston Villa, he pulled his quad from scoring a goal, which was crazy. But he is back, he is into the starting lineup, and that is the rest of the side. We rotated a little bit because we've got that Spurs game coming up, but I did want to give Delap a game in this one, as we should pick up 3 points against a struggling Crystal Palace, but we shall see how it goes. We'll do the interactive sim as usual, and we shall see what happens. That Palace side is strong. You know that team shouldn't really be struggling as much as they have, but we shall see if we can make them struggle even more and pick up another 3 points in this Premier League season. Okay, so we're at half time and it's 0-0, but we can see there's a red card. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I have no idea where that red card came. I didn't even see anything. I don't even think the commentator said anything. He's just been given a red card in the 30th minute. I have no idea what for. So Palace are down to 10 men. No idea. But it is 0-0 at half time. Dan James on the break. Then he's got an opportunity here to score. He should score. And he does score. Dan James makes it 1-0. We do make the extra man count. An extra man, like I mentioned just now, I have no idea how we have, because they've just been given a red card out of nowhere. But we've made that count and we are 1-0 up. 5 minutes to go then. It is still 1-0 here. Can we see it out? We might not be able to here if they get a strike. It was a strike, but it wasn't a good one, and it does look like we are about to see this 1-0 win out, unless we can make it 2 right at the end with Dibbling. Strike blocked. There goes the final whistle. So we do take a 1-0 victory against Crystal Palace to add to their misery. Fully deserved. They had a bit more possession, but we had a lot more shots. They only had the one shot in that entire game. And that red card, that phantom red card that came out of nowhere, probably didn't help that cause. But we have taken the first 3 points, so let's jump into the first played game now against Tottenham next. Now, this Tottenham team is absolutely ridiculous, and it really should not be sat down in 10th, although I actually think they've gone up to 9th since the previous game. But they should not be down there. They should be challenging for Champions League football, if not the title. They've got Alisson in goal, Molina, Martinez, Romagnoli and Hato as the backline. Now, some of these are actually their backups because they have been quite tired, so to say that that's a backup team is ridiculous, those players. Then they got Baliba as a CDM, Bentancur and Kulusevski are the two central midfielders, with Brennan Johnson, Dominic Solanke and Mitoma on the left. And then obviously, like I said, they've got some really class players on the bench as well, with Dragusin, Zubimendi's now there, Son, who has dropped to an 82 now, but is still a quality player, Solomon, Jed Spence, Veliz, James Maddison, Gutierrez is their backup left back, and Vicario is their backup goalkeeper. They've got Alisson and Vicario, and that's not even to mention the players that aren't even being involved at all because they are so tired. Their starting centre back is an 87 rated Canate, who is too tired to even feature in this game. So they have got an absolute ridiculous team. Our lineup has been a little bit rotated because of the previous game as well. We obviously rotated in that game, but I did start the lap. Unfortunately, he's a bit too tired to start this game, but he is on the bench. Armstrong comes in for him, and that is the rest of the lineup, which is pretty much our starting lineup, apart from Ryan Manning, who has had to come in because Doherty is too tired. So I'm not expecting too much here. I think last time we played Spurs, we got absolutely battered. I think I did play them in a played game, and I think we lost 4-5-0 or 4-1 or something like that. So I'm expecting something similar, which almost started straight away with a ridiculous cross, but fortunately for us, Brennan Johnson was offside. But yeah, we shall see how this game goes. Kulusevski inside to Belieber. Good tackle, Fernandez. Now Spurs are in trouble here with Armstrong running through one-on-one with Alisson. Can he beat him? He can beat him. 1-0 Southampton. It's a goal for Adam Armstrong, who is showing that he does deserve a spot in this lineup. Now, overall wise, he is a lot weak. He's one of our weaker players. And I probably am still going to look for another striker in the summer. But he is making a case to stay in this team, though. When he plays, he does usually score. So I might have to reevaluate it and maybe start and see. But I think if we want to push on like I want to next season, I think we do need a bit better in that position. So who knows? We'll make the decision when we come to it. But we are at this game at the moment, and he has made it 1-0 to us. Solanke. No, he's got around me. Dominic Solanke with a shot. Almost a swift reply from Spurs. But Solanke forces a save out of Ramsdale. A good save. And it is still 1-0. Good turn by him into Molino. Gets a first time pass into Brennan Johnson. Johnson into Solanke, who's offside. They do score. Kulusevski does put it in, but I was already aware that the flag had gone up against Solanke, so it is not 1-0, and it does remain 1-0. Unfortunately, Solanke it is close, but he has just put a fraction of his foot in front of Howard Bellis, so it is offside. Brennan Johnson into Kulusevski, back to Johnson. Brennan Johnson goes around the man. A lot of Spurs' play in this game has been through Brennan Johnson, who's having a good game, but he hasn't been able to create much yet. He's created something there, but Solanke can't beat Ramsdale again, and we do get it away, although it's going to come back at us. Matoma's got round him. He's probably going to score here. No, Ramsdale has saved it again. Ramsdale having a hell of a game, keeping Spurs out, and we are still 1-0, and Spurs will be disappointed that they haven't scored yet. Mitoma. Good bit of play from Mitoma. Here he comes down that left-hand side into Solanke. Another save from Ramsdale. And Spurs, it's going to be offside. But Solanke cannot find a way past Ramsdale at the minute. But he's getting all the chances. It's another really good save. It would have counted because the offside actually came after. It was from the Solanke shot. Then when Mitoma got the header away, he was the one offside. So it would have counted. But Ramsdale is coming out on top so far against Solanke in this game. Mitoma looking for the switch to Johnson, who does get the header away, and it's into Bentancur now, who has a chance down this right hand side to get maybe a cross in, which he does. Solanke is going to get there. Flicked header goes wide, and that is the first chance that's happened since the previous Solanke chance that ended up being offside due to Mitoma getting the header away. We're making a change, not bringing Delap on, but at the minute Spurs are struggling, and we are quite comfortable. They're not really creating too much. Neither are we, but we don't necessarily need to because we're the ones in front, of course. So it is still 1-0. Spurs need to maybe step it up a bit if they want to get back into this one. Manning gets round his man. Cross comes in, looking for Delap in there. Delap's got there. Oh, he's at the bar. That's his first touch since coming off the bench. And he's hit the crossbar. Could have made it 2-0 with a really good header. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but last 15 minutes now, and here comes Spurs again. So they're actually pushing out. That's Martinez who's decided to take a strike, although I don't think that's... No, it is going to be a goal kick. So 13 minutes to go. Still 1-0. Here comes Spurs again then. Brennan Johnson, who has had a good game, but he hasn't been able to do much yet in terms of getting a goal. Zubamendi's come on, played into Kulusevski, out to Mitoma. Cross comes in again. It is Johnson who gets the header away. He is offside though, and it's been sort of the story of the game so far. Spurs are creating things, but they're ended up offside. Now Veliz is coming on for Solanke. Solanke should definitely have had a goal in this game so far, but Ramsdale has kept him out. So can Veliz maybe come on and do something for them? Otherwise, we are about to take another, I'd say, deserved 3 points, because Ramsdale has kept us in it, and we have had a couple of chances ourselves. We are now coming again with a chance. We get a cross in, looking for Delap. This time, can he score? It's a save from Alisson. Delap has had, I believe he's only had like 2 touches in this game. Both headers, both that goal, and both close. But unfortunately, he's not been able to put them in, so it is still 1-0. But here comes Spurs again on the break with a nice pass into Mitoma. Mitoma, Veliz, Ramsdale actually is going to fall for Johnson, and another save from Ramsdale. Spurs cannot get past Aaron Ramsdale in this game, and it does look like we are going to get the victory. We're just going to waste time now. We may as well just pass it around, give a bit of game management, get this game, get this 3 points. Really nice victory for us. A clean sheet as well, which we probably, I mean, you can't say we shouldn't have, because Ramsdale did keep them out, but I think they should have done a lot better with their chances. But I'll take it. To beat Spurs and get a 1-0 victory, it's not going to get us anywhere near them, because they do have quite a few points in front of us. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and to beat a top 6 side, although they're not in the top 6, but to beat one of the big 6 is fantastic. We've had really good performances against the big 6. We've simmed most of them and got draws. I don't believe we've beaten any of them, but now we have, with a goal from Adam Armstrong to make it 1-0. Let's head towards the next game now and hopefully continue what has been a good start to this episode and get another victory against Leeds next. Leeds line up then for the penultimate game of this season. Melia in goal, Bogle, Rodon, Ampadu and Benzibiani as the back line. Ryan Yates and Ayo Tanaka as the 2 CDMs, with Wilfred Nonto, Ezlazuli, Brendan Aronson and then Ricardo Pepe up front. Our lineup is our starting lineup, I think, in full. Yeah, it is our full starting lineup, so we shall see what we can do. If we can get another victory in this game, it would be good. If we don't, again, it doesn't matter too much at this point in the season, because we are pretty much going to finish 11th, because Leeds are the team below us, but a win is not going to get them anywhere near us. So yeah, so we shall see if we can continue our good form towards the end of the season. Sinisterra, what a touch that is. Fernandez is carrying on his run, we'll get it to him. Delap is in there. Can't get it to him. Downs is going to have that down to Fernandez, who's going to get a ball into Sinisterra. I think he's on. Ball across Delap. Good save, Melia. He was on. And there's the first chance of the game then comes for Delap. We still got the ball though, so we could maybe create another opportunity. Into Hutchinson. No, we do get tackled. So it was a good strike from Delap to potentially get his first goal of the game, but an equally good save from Ilan Melia to deny him. That's a good pass. Strike from Ezazuli, I think it was, but Ramsdale is equal to. He's having a really good episode so far on Ramsdale, keeping every shot that comes at him out. Fantastic. Tanaka into Ezazuli, gets it to Bensabani, back Aronson, and this time Aaron Ramsdale cannot keep it. It was a really good strike. It was a really good bit of play from Leeds, who do take the lead through Brendan Aronson, and like I said, a fantastic strike. It was going to take a good strike to beat Ramsdale today, because he has been in fine form, and a good strike it was. So we have to come from behind against Leeds. Really good strike. 1-0 Leeds. Oh, it's a poor pass from Ramsdale, but he makes up for it with a fantastic save. We've been praising him, but that pass was absolutely woeful. But he does make amends with an absolutely fantastic, and no right to save that. It should have been 2-0. It isn't, but it could still be with a corner, which we don't quite get away. We will now. No, we won't. Aronson blocked. It's bouncing everywhere, and Ramsdale gets it safely. But Leeds are the team on top of the minute. We need to wake up a bit if we want to get anything from this game. Bogle, good tackle by Doherty into Sinisterra. Now Bogle's out of position, so Sinisterra's got some room to run in, and although I think that's Yates that's keeping up with him, tries to get a tackle in, can't. Still Sinisterra Get a cross in, looking for Hutchinson, who will get a header away. Oh, I thought that was going in, but it wasn't. It was actually well wide, I think, in the end. But we created something. Our first chance since the first 5 minutes when Delap had that chance. So a bit better, but we need to be better still if we want to get a goal in this one. Okay, an early cross in, looking for Hutchinson. He should have time to bring that down. He does. Oh, it's a good save from Melia. It's a really good save from Melia. It was a really good first touch from Hutchinson to bring it down on his chest. Took the half volley, and Melia had to bring up a good save to make that, and he did. And it is still 1-0. And here come Leeds now up the other end just before half time. Maybe to make us pay for not putting that in the back of the net. Azuli, good tackle. Dewey's going to get it back though. Aronson. Pepe. Wide. Half time then. 1-0 Leeds. Free kick to us then just in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Going to give it to Hutchinson, who's going to whip this in with his left foot. I'm not going to go for goal. We're going to try and cross it in to find a man. Cross comes in. Delap. The ref's actually given a penalty now. So the ref's deemed that to be a handball. So we will obviously double check it with the VAR check. Rodon was the one who did apparently handle it, according to the ref. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it from initial look. Obviously we will have the second look, a proper look, with the instant replay feature. So the ball comes in from Hutchinson eventually. There we go. Okay, went a bit too quick. So the ball comes down. It's interesting because I don't know. I do not know, because it's a very interesting position his arm's in. I don't really know why it would need to be in that position. I am gonna... Is it a clear and obvious error? That's what you got to think of in a handball situation now. VAR's had its controversies, and obviously with me in charge, I need to not add to that controversy and give a penalty if it isn't one. I think I've been okay so far. This one I'm not sure on, because initially I don't think it's a penalty, but it's also not. You could also say it could be. Okay, so I have decided to overturn it. No penalty. Probably again, it's one of those that maybe his arm is in that position because he's jumping up, and it's not a clear handball. So to make it fair, we will overturn it. Let me know if you would have done the same thing. Benzabani wins it back. Azuli plays it inside into Aronson, the goal scorer. Pepe, another good strike from Leeds and another good save from Ramsdale. So it is still 1-0. But again, we're heading towards the end of the game now. We're not really creating much ourselves. They've got the ball back though, with Azuli gets it to Pepe, who's got another bite of the cherry, and this time he does make it 2-0. It does look like we are going to go down to a defeat against Leeds in this penultimate game of the season. We've not played well. Leeds do deserve to be 2-0 up, and that is how it's going. So, yeah, we need to play a bit better. We might be able to get a goal back, maybe. I just can't see that happening with how the game's gone so far. So let's see what happens. 10 minutes ago then, we've got to throw in an attack of area. We'll get that into Fernandez as a poor touch, and Bogle, who has been absolutely fantastic in this game so far, gets another foot in. So it is still 2-0 to Leeds. Here they come up the other end though with Nonto, who's going to get away from Doherty. He's going to get miles away from him. He can't keep up with them at all. Greaves gets a good cross in. Howard Bellis gets there though, and we're not going to get the ball away. It's going to come back at us with Gnonto. Cross. Oh, what a poor clearance, and it's a goal. It was always going to be. It was a good first save from Ramsdale, but as soon as that clearance was made, it was absolutely dreadful. I think it was Howard Bellis, and Pepe made us pay. 3-0 Leeds, 3 points to Leeds. Disappointing result for us. Last few minutes then, it's Leeds coming again. So if anybody's going to score, I don't even think we're going to get a consolation. 3 added minutes by the ref. We're going to win the ball back. Can we maybe get one with the final attack of the game? We'll get that out to Hutchinson. Inside to Delap. Try to get that into Fernandez. We will. We'll get that out to Hutchinson. Maybe this has probably been our best attack of the game so far. And support pass in the end. And the ref's actually given a penalty just to add to the drama to end this game. I think the ball bounced up onto his hand, so it could be overturned again. Maybe we'll have a look at it. It's one of those that it's bounced up, but if he's made movement with his hand, it's got to be given. So we shall have a look at it. just, not that we really need to, the game is over. We could just either take it or just overturn it, but I'll have a look, obviously, because VAR would look at it in real life, which is why we look at these to make it more realistic. Now it bounces up. You see that movement there? So the ball bounces up, and because he puts his arm down onto it, which you can see here, he does put his arm down onto the ball, it's got to be a penalty. So we do get a chance to get a consolation and maybe add to Liam Delap's goal tally for the season. Hutchinson is the one on it at the moment, but I think I am going to give it to Liam Delap, who is on the pitch. He does have better penalties than Hutchinson, so I'm not really sure why he isn't on it anyway. We'll go right, and we will score. Delap does score. There's no point celebrating it. That's going to be it then. 3-1 to finish the last played game of the episode and the season. Unless something, if Liverpool need to beat us to win the league, I might play it just because there is something to play for there. If they can't win the league, then we will sim it because they can't do anything. We can't do anything, so we may as well sim it and wrap up the season. So let's see what the league table is looking like before the Liverpool game. Okay, so before this Liverpool game, it just so happens that Liverpool can still win the league. If they beat us, they will, and they need City to lose. Now, in some weird, world circumstance, Man City are playing Wolves and we're playing Liverpool. Two of Jota's former clubs are involved in this final game of the season. Part of me wants Liverpool to win the league, just even though he's not there anymore. Obviously, it was his team that he was playing for in real life. So, and as a United supporter, to say I want Liverpool to win the league feels weird. But like I said at the beginning of the episode, rivalries and football doesn't really matter when something like this happens. But we will play it just because there is some drama. Obviously, we can't do anything. We're in 11th, and that is where we will stay. We can't go higher, we can't go lower. There is also some drama at the bottom of the table as well. So Wolves already down, Brentford already down, but that 18th position is still up for grabs. Now Hull occupy it. They are with 30 points, but they could, Crystal Palace can still go down in 16th. So who are they playing? So we've got Palace playing Newcastle, Everton are playing Brighton, and who are Hull playing? Hull are playing Arsenal, so it's not looking too good for Hull. Actually, West Ham as well, I forgot. West Ham playing Tottenham, so who knows? Obviously, on paper, it does look like Hull are probably going to go down, which is a bit unfortunate because I thought they actually performed very well this season. I didn't give them any chance at the beginning of the season. They obviously beat us in the first game of the season, but even then, I still didn't think they were going to, kick on from that. I thought they'd probably be where Wolves are, but they have played well, so I kind of hope they stay up, but it's not looking too good for them. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Let's jump into this Liverpool game then. A surprise played game. Obviously wasn't planned, but we may as well play it. Last game of the season, and there is something to play for Liverpool, so let's see how it goes. Okay then, so Liverpool lineup then for this final game of the season, and a big one for them. Yassine Benu in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Sven Botman, Antonio Rudiger and Denzel Dumfries are the back line. Now, they don't have any left backs, so Denzel Dumfries, they have Tsimikas, but I thought Denzel Dumfries is a better player, although he isn't a left back, he could still do a job there. They got Granit Xhaka in the middle with Gravenberch as the two CDMs. Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo are the two wingers, with Alexis McAllister playing in the cam position and Kai Havertz as their starting lineup. Now, they have two big missing players from this lineup. They are missing Dominik Szoboszlai, who is suspended, and their starting goalkeeper, who is Mavrodavashvili, who is also, he's not suspended, he's injured. So they are two big players that they could be missing in this one. Our lineup is giving a final goodbye to a couple of players. I say a couple of players, they're actually in the starting lineup. Now, Sinisterra is one of them because I don't believe I am going to go and sign him, so this will be his final game for the club because he will go back to his parent club, which is Bournemouth, next season. Okechukwu I wanted to sign. Now, we do have a buy option for him, however I don't have the funds to do it, so he will be going back to Chelsea. Whether or not I bring him back again, I thought he's had another decent season. Now, he's an 80 overall. I could bring him back. I might actually ask you guys if you would like to bring him back, but I'll go into all that at the end of this game because we obviously do the full season roundup and have a bit of a chat about next season. But that is the lineup. We do also have Alex McCarthy, who's a 61 overall, but he is going to be playing his final game before he retires, so I will bring him on for Ramsdale at some point in this game. Now, as much as I want Liverpool to win this for obvious reasons, I'm still going to try. Don't worry, I'm not going to just throw the game away. I still like to win. If we stop Liverpool from winning the league, we stop Liverpool from winning the league. But without even trying, I still think this is going to be difficult. With trying, it's still going to be difficult. They still probably will go and win this game. Considering we just got battered by Leeds, I am expecting a bit of a heavy defeat here, but we shall see what happens. Although we got a chance here with Liam Delap. Well, not a good start for Liverpool, a fantastic start for us. Liam Delap with a fantastic finish, and it's 1-0 Southampton in the first 5 minutes. Strike. We're giving the ball back to them. Luis Diaz. Gravenberch. Falls for Havertz. Gakpo. And it does go in. So Liverpool do get the equaliser. Ramsdale did get something on it, but he couldn't keep it out, and Cody Gakpo makes it 1-1, and Liverpool have a fighting chance of winning this league. I don't know what the score is on Man City. We haven't had any updates yet, but they are doing what they can, but obviously they do need to get another goal, otherwise it's probably going to be City's title. Gravenberch passes into Gakpo. Is he onside? He is onside. Can he get his brace? He can. Cody Gakpo is clawing Liverpool to a Premier League title all on his own at the moment. I say that, like I said, if City win, they need City to lose or draw. I think if they draw, though, I think it'll go to goal difference, and I didn't actually check that, so I'm not 100% sure on whose goal difference is better. However, Liverpool are doing what they can at the minute. They are winning the game 2-1 despite going 1-0 down, so who knows how this game is going to go from here. Half time then. It's 2-1 Liverpool, so 45 minutes to go. I still don't know what the City game is. I don't know. I didn't turn on goal news, so I don't know if it's automatically going to show me it because it's got nothing to do with me. It might do, I don't know. But at the minute, Liverpool are doing what they can, so they are 2-1 up. And hopefully for them, they do go and win the league. Like I said, I'm still going to try and stop that from happening. But if it does happen, I'm not going to be that bothered about it as I'd usually be, because it would be a nice fitting way to end this episode for the respect of Jota, of course, as well. Some goal news here for the relegation side. Tottenham are beating West Ham, so I don't know what the Hull score is, but if Hull can potentially go and beat Arsenal, which is a big ask, but if they can, they might stay up, and West Ham would be the team going down. Oh, we got an opportunity here for Delap, and he's made it 2-2. So we've got another goal, a brace for Liam Delap, another good finish from him to add to his goal tally. So the league title with another twist. Liverpool have to score again. Interesting. We shall see what happens. I'm just really impressed with that finish to score. Really nice strike. Off the crossbar as well. 2-2 here at St Mary's. McAllister, Havertz, who is onside. Kai Havertz does make it 3-2, so it wasn't... they weren't behind for long is what I'm trying to say. Kai Havertz gets another goal and he does go over to Arne Slot to hug him. Is it enough? We still don't know what the City score is at this current moment, so I don't know if it's enough, and there's still plenty of time to go in this game. But at the minute, again, Liverpool are doing what they can, and who knows where the league title is going from here. Inside to Alexis McAllister. Still McAllister. Still going. Cross. Okay, so the ref's pointed to the spot now, so Liverpool have been given a penalty for handball again. We will obviously double check it through VAR. Initially, the initial look, it doesn't look like handball. I'll have a quick look at it. Okay, so after looking at it a few times, because it's one of those weird ones where I was like, does he move his arm towards it? He doesn't really. It initially looks like he's going to, but then he does stop his hand just before the ball hits him. So it isn't a penalty, so they will be celebrating at Manchester City, overturned. Ooh, again news from Manchester City. Oh, Wolves are winning! Wolves are beating Manchester City, so as it stands with 10 minutes to go, Liverpool are winning the league. This is crazy stuff. Wolves beating Man City. They've already won 2 games all season. Interesting scenes here. We shall see what happens. There's still plenty of time to go, though. It could all change. If we get a goal, that still means City win the league, and they could obviously go and score as well. They obviously need 2 to win, but a draw might be able to do it if we get a draw. And we got a chance maybe to make it. Oh, what a strike that was. Fernandes saying, actually, hang on, let me add some drama to it. Just over the bar. Liverpool making some changes now. Chiesa and Gomez coming on. Maybe looking to hold on to this lead now with an extra defender coming on. So we shall see how this goes. We're actually going to make a change as well. I'm about to bring Alex McCarthy on for his final game of his career. Another bit of goal news. So West Ham have got a goal back in that Tottenham game. They are still losing. I still don't know what the scoreline is at the Hull game though. Dan James, oh, he's been taken down. No card given. I thought that was a yellow card, but here comes those changes I was going to make. Alex McCarthy coming on for Aaron Ramsdale for his final game of his career, just to have a little bit of a clap for him, to give him that game. Obviously, if anything comes at him, I do worry for him because he's a 61 overall. So maybe I'm handing Liverpool the title with him in goal, but we shall see. We're going to take this free kick as a poor free kick, and with 3 minutes to go, at the minute, I still think. Oh, that's a very poor clearance. No, I still think it might be Liverpool's title. I don't know. We haven't had any more goal news from the City game, so we shall assume Liverpool are winning the league at this current stage. Alexis McAllister, Havertz. It's going to fall for Chiesa, who's got so much room, and that's going to be it then. In this game, Chiesa does make it 4-2. Unfortunate for Alex McCarthy to come on and concede. I was hoping he'd at least keep a clean sheet, but the ball fell kindly for Chiesa. So they're going nuts. They think they might have done it, because last we heard City were losing at Wolves, or I can't remember if they were home or away, but they're losing to Wolves, and Liverpool look like they might be going to win the league. They're definitely going to win this game now. I can't see us getting 2 goals from here, so they do make it 4-2. A very crazy game, this one. And we shall see now what happens. It's a lot of drama. Got nothing to do with us, obviously. But the fact there's still drama in the career is also very good, of course. 1 added minute to go then. The ref is about to blow his whistle. And we shall find out whether or not that is it. Do Liverpool win the league, or have City done enough? There's not a lot of chatter. Liverpool is celebrating, but not wildly. I don't know if that means that they haven't done it. I don't think they've done it, because I feel like if they had, we would see the Premier League trophy lift, wouldn't we? So it doesn't look like they've done it, but we will have a double check. So City might have got 2 goals back in that game. Let's go find out. Right. So Liverpool have done it, right? But if you look at it, they've done it on goal difference. And the only reason that they have won this league was because of that Chiesa goal. If they hadn't had scored that, if they had won 3-2, Man City would have won it on goals scored, because their goal difference would have been exactly the same, but City would have scored more goals because they have scored more goals. Absolutely crazy. I don't know why we didn't see the trophy lift. I don't know if it was maybe the City game was still going on. I don't know. Usually in FC, that's not how that works. Maybe it was because it was goal difference, so the game wasn't really suited for that. But anyway, we didn't see the trophy lift. But Liverpool do go and win the Premier League season on 1 goal difference. Absolutely crazy, but fitting in the end that Liverpool have gone and won it. Unfortunately, on the other end of the table, Wolves did go down and Hull did lose to Arsenal, which does mean that they are the last team to go down alongside Brentford. So unfortunately for them, they had a good season, to be fair to them. They probably don't really deserve to go down, but ultimately if you go down, you can't really say you don't deserve it because you didn't pick up enough points to stay up. But they did do a lot better than I was expecting, and that is the rest of the Premier League table. As for us, obviously we knew that we were going to end up in 11th regardless. To win 15 games in the first season, to finish 11th is absolutely fantastic. To be a lot clearer from that relegation zone. 14 points, or was it 24? 24 points to be exact. So absolutely fantastic. I'm very happy with that. So that is how the Premier League table looks. Let's go see now how the rest of the competitions have gone. Okay, so last season's runners-up win the FA Cup this season against Plymouth. To beat them 3-0, Manchester United are the FA Cup winners. Interesting enough, Plymouth beat Liverpool to get there. So who were the winners of last season's FA Cup? So that's a very interesting one. Carabao Cup, we know obviously was Manchester City, because we were the ones who they did beat in that final, unfortunately for us, but Man City did deserve it in the end, so they get the Carabao Cup. The Super Cup was won by last season's Champions League winner, which was PSG, to beat Fenerbahce, of course being the Europa League winners, who actually did beat Man United last season. So there's a bit of a circle going on here. The winners of the Champions League 2 years in a row, PSG. Now, a 3-3 draw in normal time, and then they go and beat Dortmund 6-5 on a penalty shootout. So back-to-back Champions League winners PSG. Europa League winners were Chelsea over their London rivals Spurs. So Chelsea go and win the Europa League this season. Conference League was actually won by Roma, again beating United, who got to another final, but Roma come out on top of that one. So let's go see the rest of the leagues now. In the Championship then, Bournemouth comfortably come back up, which we were really expecting because they didn't really get rid of much of their players, so that was definitely not a Championship team, so they've absolutely dominated. Norwich come up this time though with them in second, and then one of Sunderland, Ipswich, Burnley and Sheffield United coming up alongside them. Obviously we can't see who won the playoffs because we're not in the Championship, which is a bit stupid really, but one of them is coming up. The League One winners then were Bolton, so they're going up to the Championship with Wickham, and then either Millwall, Barnsley, Oxford or Blackpool going up with them. In League 2, Northampton, Stockport and Shrewsbury go up automatically, and then one of Fleetwood, Grimsby, Cheltenham and Crawley. Now I just realised I haven't actually showed you the relegation sides of those leagues, so let's have a look at that quickly. Going down from the Championship then is Derby, Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield. Going down to League 2 from League 1 is Leyton Orient, Burton, Salford and Notts County. And then obviously going to the National League, if it was in the game, but it isn't, so there won't be, but would have been, is Morecambe and Accrington Stanley. Now Women's Super League, if anyone's interested in that, Everton go and win that. Interesting, Everton go and win it. The League One champions, of course, PSG, 2 years in a row. They've done the double, potentially even a treble, but I can't see obviously their domestic cup, so I don't know if they've gone and won that. Bundesliga winner then was Leverkusen again, 2 years in a row for them. They win the league. Serie A was won by Juventus this time. Again, a very close league though on goal difference. Yet again, Juventus get another Serie A title. Eredivisie won by Feyenoord. PSV won it last season, so they come runners up this year. So Feyenoord make it another victory for them. Liga of Portugal, FC Porto. I was kind of hoping that was going to happen. Now that's just full circle. Actually, Atletico Madrid would be the next one just to top it off. If they go and win the league, then it was just meant to be. Of course, you know what I'm talking about by now. I've been talking about Jota's previous teams. Liverpool won it. Unfortunately, Wolves got relegated. We couldn't really do anything about that. But his former team, Porto, do win the Portuguese league this season. The Saudi league then was won by Al Haili, not Al Hilal. Al Hilal won it last season, but Al Haili win it this season. Scottish Premiership then was won by Rangers this time. Celtic won it last season, but Rangers win it this season. In La Liga then, unfortunately, it's not the full circle. It is Real Madrid who go and win the league title this season. It was Barcelona last season, and unfortunately Atletico Madrid didn't win it, so they end up in third. And I think that is all the leagues we're really bothered about yet. So let's go check the individual stats next. Top goal scorer in the Premier League then was Nicholas Jackson with 27 goals and 36 appearances for Chelsea. Havertz came close behind him with 24. Our top goal scorer was Liam Delap, of course, with 21 out of 28. So, to be fair, 21 out of 28 in 28 games is absolutely fantastic. He just had a few games where I felt like he could have done a lot better in, so he could have done a lot better than that. We're hoping next season he can probably kick on, stay fit, of course, because he did go out. I mean, he only had the one injury, I believe, unless there was two that I can't quite remember. I think it was only the one, but we're just hoping a bit more consistency from him next season, which we should hopefully get, because obviously I'll go into what next season brings in a minute. Let's just carry on going through this for a sec. Anyone else in the top 25 for us? I don't believe there was. No. Assists wise then, Omari Hutchinson, so one of ours, does get the top assister with 10 out of 33 games. Absolutely fantastic. He was definitely better once we moved him out on that right hand side, so going forward next season that is definitely where he will remain. Phil Foden came close with 9, Hudson Doyle with 9, and Anthony Gordon with 9, and Brendan Johnson with 9, and Alejandro Garnacho with 9. So a lot of players with 9 assists there, just shy of that 10 that Hutchinson got, so did very well to beat some of those players to get that top assist award, because there's some really good players in there. Anyone else in our lineup in that list? Liam Delap actually does just about make it down the bottom there with 5 in total. Clean sheet wise, then Andre Onana gets the Golden Glove for United. Aaron Ramsey with 9 assists. Absolutely fantastic in 38 games. That is really good from him. He obviously was one of our best players this season, Aaron Ramsey, which we thought he would be. He's a really good goalkeeper. We're just hoping that we can keep away the interest next season, because there were some interest in him in January, and to be third on the clean sheet list, that's not going to help really scare away that interest. Is only going to make it stronger, so we shall see what happens. Red card wise, if you're interested in that, actually nobody had more than 1 red card this season. That's very interesting. That's very rare that nobody had more than 1, so maybe not. To be fair, a lot of them were in our games. I felt like we had a lot of red cards in games that we played, not necessarily for us. We had a few, obviously. Doherty's on there, I think someone else, Sinistera's on there as well, so we did have a couple, but yeah, I felt like there was a lot of those red cards were in the games that we were playing. Yellow cards ended up being Paqueta, Mbuemo, Ruta with 6 each to top that chart. Don't think any of our players, nobody, I can't really think of anybody who could consistently get yellow cards for us either, so that's always a good thing. In the FA Cup, the top goal scorer, actually we're on yellow card, sorry, the top goal scorer was actually Ryan Hardy for Plymouth, which is not surprising. It is surprising, but it's not, considering Plymouth did get to the final, and they actually do start before a lot of those teams, so the fact they got to the final, you were always going to think that they would be the top goal scorers because they played more games. Obviously, in second there, Ken Sema as well. Assists in the FA Cup, Kai Havertz tops that. Clean sheets, David Raya gets the most clean sheets, although joint with Onana, Mamadashvili for Liverpool, and Daniel Grimshaw for Plymouth again. Red cards there, yellow cards again, Plymouth on those lists. Carabao Cup then, the top goal scorer, which I was expecting, was Adam Armstrong, although joint with Erling Haaland. Not surprising there, considering Erling Haaland actually scored 2 of them in the final, so they shared that award. Assists wise was actually Mason Clark for Coventry, who got 4 and 3. Ours there is Tyler Dibling with 3 and 5, so not too bad there. Bazunu gets the most clean sheets, joint with Hermanson for Leicester. Obviously he was our cup goalkeeper, Bazunu, so that's really nice to see. Not many red cards happened there in the EFL Cup, in the Carabao Cup, and again only 1 yellow card. Nobody had more than 1 in that competition. The Super Cup top goal scorer was Kvadratskhlia for PSG, who scored both their goals then in that game. Assist was Fabian Ruiz, and again, don't really bother too much about that in that competition. Top goal scorer then in the Champions League was Victor Gyökeres, who does play for the winners of that competition for PSG with 11 goals. Just nipped it over Syria Girisu, who also made it to that final with Dortmund, and a couple of those players are name players there with 9 goals each. Assist wise was a Dortmund player in Julian Brandt, who got 8 in 15, not too bad from him. Ederson got the most clean sheets, although joint with Kobel in the Champions League. Red cards again, nobody had more than 1 in that competition, and then a joint record of 4 each for Szoboszlai and Gyökeres, yellow card wise, in that competition. Europa League then, top goal scorer again was Nicholas Jackson, so he got the most in the Premier League and the most in the Europa League, so really good season from him this season. And Son with 11 is in second there. Assist wise, Cole Palmer got the most with 7 in 15. Clean sheet wise, Simon Mignolet, there's a throwback from Bruges. A couple of actually players there on 4 joint top clean sheets there. David De Gea also on there for Fiorentina with 4. Red card wise, again, nobody had more than 1. And then yellow card wise, that is that. And then finally in the Conference League then, the top goal scorer was Artem Dovbyk, who did go and win the competition with Roma, so 13 goals in 13 appearances, averaging a goal a game there. Fantastic from him. Assist wise then, it was a Patrick Berg who got it for Bodo Glimt. He got 6 in 14. Clean sheets again, Andre Onana, who also got the most in the Premier League, also got the most in the Conference League to get them to that final, unfortunately not going and winning it. John Pickford actually playing for Roma now, so he was their goalkeeper, so he obviously went and won the competition despite having less clean sheets than Andre Onana. And finally, someone had more than 1 red card in a competition. Joachim Jacobsen in the Conference League for Bodo Glimt did get 2 red cards, and then that's the yellow card list with Gyöngy for Austria Vienna getting 4 in 10. So this is how our roundup has gone this season. So from an objective point of view, the board wanted us to finish mid-table, which we absolutely did. We finished in 11th, absolutely fantastic. We didn't get to the round of 16 in the FA Cup, but to be fair, I didn't really focus on that. Once we got to the final of the Carabao Cup, I kind of put the FA Cup aside because we wanted to put more of our efforts into try and win that competition. Unfortunately, we didn't, but that's just how it goes sometimes. We haven't really done too much with the youth. I did say at the beginning of the save, to be fair, was going to really focus on youth development because that's what Southampton do. I'm not really. I do have scouts out. There are some players that are going to be coming in. I'll actually show you briefly in a sec then on those players. Or maybe actually, no, I don't want this episode is going to go on for quite a long time, so I'll show you at the beginning of season 3 what our youth academy is looking like. So we haven't really been focusing too much on that, so we're not going to take that off. Brand exposure wise though, they wanted us to win 10 games this season. We absolutely smashed that out of the park and actually went and won 5 more than that to win 15 games. Average, not quite half of our games, but there and thereabouts. So that is fantastic for the first season, considering we just wanted to stay in the league. We have definitely gone and done that. And then financial wise, because we stayed in the league, we have gone and ticked that because we got given a big prize money, about 146 mil for staying in the Premier League. Let's go see our individual player stats next. Okay, so goals wise then, in 31 appearances, Liam Delap tops that chart with 22 goals and 6 assists in his first season for us. I'm very happy with that. I still think he could have done a lot better. I know that might be a bit harsh to score 22 goals in 31 games. It is good. I just felt like there were some games where I think he's got a lot more potential to do a lot better, and hopefully next season he will kick on because he has grown by 2. He is now an 82 overall, so he is our joint highest overall player, and he's definitely got more room to grow. He's only 23, so we're definitely expecting him to kick on next season. Mateus Fernandes still with us, only 21 as well, which is mad. He looks older than he is, doesn't he, with his face? He's only 21. He's gone up +3 this season. He got the second most amount of goals with 11 and 4 assists in 40 appearances. Really good return from him, to be fair, and he does a lot more than just score goals and create stuff, so we are hoping that we can keep Fernandez. Adam Armstrong then with 8 goals in 19, not too bad. Now that's the player that I've already mentioned in this episode, where I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with him next season, because I do want to sign someone a bit better, but he has warranted a good return. So it's like, do I maybe keep him for cup competitions and then rotate with another striker with the lap in the league? That might be what I do, but is that fair to him? Whether he'd want to, maybe if we get offers in for him, maybe we can't reject them, but I won't actively look to move him on. But yeah, again, that's something we'll have a look at. Maybe if you guys have an opinion, let me know in the comments down below. Also about next season, I will go through what I want to look at just before we end this episode next season. So if you guys have any suggestions, you can go ahead and put that down in the comment section below. Sinisterra with 5 goals and 3 assists isn't too bad in 30 games. I just felt like he could have done a lot more, and he hasn't really warranted himself to stay with us, so we will let him go back to Bournemouth next season, and that is one of the sides that we do need to sign next season, is that left hand side, because we still haven't found the player that we want there. Dan James, solid first season for him, 5 goals, 5 assists in 41 appearances. Again, you could say why it's not too far off Sinisterra, obviously only 2 assists more, but again, Dan James is a signing rather than a loan. If Dan James was on loan and he had that return, I might not be signing him either, but he obviously will stay because we have got him. He's a decent backup, and he does create a lot more chances than I felt Sinisterra did. Whether or not it's obviously not quite as the assist or the goal scorer, but just in build-up play, I feel like with his pace, he does create a lot more. Hutchinson had a really good second half of the season because we put him on the right-hand side and started playing him more. He's played 39 appearances, which surprised me that he's actually made that much. I didn't think we played him that much, but maybe you come off the bench quite a bit. So he, with a good return with 10 assists and 4 goals, I'm happy with that. So he will be starting on that right hand side for us next season, because he has also grown +2 and is only 22, so he's got more room to grow. Oniachu only played 14 for me this season, but did score 4 goals. He is leaving us as a free agent, so we respect what he did for us last season, but he just couldn't quite hack it in the Premier League, so we are letting him go. Flynn Downs, just a solid player, not really going to create much goals, but having him in that middle is quite solid. But I still think that next season we might look to sign someone a bit better to play in that position, so then he will stay at the club, he'll become the backup. We'll definitely still have room for him to play, but like I said, we are going to look for someone a bit better than him to start. Ukachukwu, a player that I'm still not sure what to do. Obviously we have the buy option, but I can't do it because I don't have the finances to go and do that, so we might have to look elsewhere. I do like him, and he did grow quite a bit. Maybe we will try and sign him, or maybe just because I feel like it's more realistic, because we don't sign him because of finances, it kind of, in a way, it's kind of like, oh, we're making the decision not to sign him, so then to go and sign him next season, it's just a little bit unrealistic in some ways. Otherwise we would just obviously activate that option otherwise, so we probably won't go and sign Okachukwu, but he has had 2 solid seasons for us, so it is a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. Tyler Dibbling is a player that I have been disappointed in. He has grown +3, but he hasn't done too much for me this season. He has been playing backup, to be fair to him, but next season I do think I am going to send him out on loan so he can grow a bit more, and hopefully then come back and play. Sorry, I just knocked my table. And come back and play a bit more of a role for us, so we will send him out on loan next season. Dacunia hasn't worked out at all. He is going to leave us next season. I am going to put him on the transfer list because, like I said, it just had that signing did not work out. Ward-Prowse has been okay for us, quite solid when he's come in. Obviously not too many goals, only having that 1 goal and then 6 assists. He could have probably done a bit better, but I think he's 31 now, he'll be 32 obviously next season. I think maybe we will keep him just as a backup next season and then maybe look to move him on after that. Dozy hardly played. When he did play though, he did have 1 goal and 3 assists, to be fair to him, but I think another player we'd probably look to loan out next season. And then these are some of our loan players that have gone out on loan. Obviously they haven't really done anything in terms of goals and assists, but they are playing in leagues where, well, not in those leagues, so they obviously might have done a bit more better than it does seem. Ben Davies, a solid backup for us, has gone down one this season, but we were kind of expecting that. Again, a player we'll probably look to keep just because he's quite solid when he does play. Some of these players will probably let go next season. Obviously, Manning, left back is a position that I do want to sign a starter in to make Doherty my backup. So Manning is probably going to lose his place in the side, so he will probably move on next season. Tanganga, another player we signed just to have someone in the Championship. We kept him this season just as a backup. He only played 7 times, but he's definitely a player that we will move on. Bazunu's solid when he played. Obviously, he was top assister in the Carabao Cup, so he's definitely going to be our backup goalkeeper again next season. I am happy with him. Ross Stewart is leaving us. Sulemana, a player I haven't really used at all. Another player that I might look out to loan next season or maybe move on. I just don't think we really have a place for him at this stage in the save, so we shall see what I decide to do. Ronnie Edwards, just a youngster, 23 though, he'll probably either move on or go on loan. Shay Charles, a player we decided to keep this season. When he did play, he was okay. Nothing too amazing, so we probably loan him out. Adam Wheatley is one of our youth prospects, so he is definitely going to go out on loan next season. Obviously, Alex McCarthy only having that one appearance, which was his final appearance. We gave him that game against Liverpool, but he's obviously retiring, so he's moving on. Calvin Phillips, not really too sure why I made this signing. I think it was kind of I just wanted to fill the squad up a bit. When he's played, he's not really been that good, so we'll probably move Calvin Phillips on, or we might just keep him as a squad player. Kyle Walker-Peters, been okay for me. Again, though, I might look to sign a better right back. We did sign Dewey, obviously, to start, or he might still be okay for a backup for one more season, maybe. We shall see. Doherty, I've kind of already mentioned, been okay, but I do want to sign someone a bit better to start and have him as my backup, although he has grown +3 to be fair to him, so he might have some room left to grow, so we shall see. Jacob Greaves, solid, but again, next season I am going to look for a centre-back as well, a better centre-back, probably to replace Howard Bellis, who might just become a backup for me for now until he grows a bit better, because I think he has still a lot of room to grow, and he has been okay for me when he has played, been quite solid, but I think to push on now we need to sign someone a little bit better. Dewey, when he's come in, has been okay. Again, nothing really too amazing when he has played. I actually feel like he's a little bit slow for my liking, but we'll give him another chance. We've only just signed him, and he does still have a lot of room to grow, so we won't make a quick judgment on him yet, so we shall have a look next season. And of course, Aaron Ramsdale, I've already spoken about. We want to keep him. He is a solid goalkeeper. So that is how that is all looking. So like I said, I have briefly gone over what I want to do next season anyway, but we'll go into a more in-depth look at that at the beginning of the next episode, which is the first episode of season 3. But I would like you guys to leave some comments, like I said, with what I've briefly said, so right back, centre back, anything like that you want me to sign next season, anyone you might want to see play for me, leave a comment down below and let me know, and maybe we'll go and sign those players. But as for this episode then, that is where we shall wrap it up. It's been a good season for us, season 2 done, still in the Premier League, look forward to the next one. But if you guys have enjoyed this episode and this season, please remember to leave a big like and subscribe so you don't miss anything going into season 3. I've been Clonks, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care.